Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff. This is Table Talk. Blimey, have we got some stuff to get through. Yes, hello and welcome everybody to this week's Table Talk. If you're a new subscriber, a big special welcome to you. This is my little weekly spot where I talk about what's going on behind the scenes, what's coming up, what's been happening during the week, not just model relating, but stuff that's affecting me, my family, and ultimately that tends to affect what's going out on the channel and that sort of stuff. So, tons of things going on at the moment, and I sort of don't really know where to start, but then I do. Let's start with stash ads, shall we? So I said that I had a couple of stash ads that I needed to go through. Neither of these are those two that I was referring to. They're a couple of classic kits, and I'll bring them out when I've got nothing else really to talk about. But it's been such a busy week on the modelling front in terms of new kits and kits that I'm receiving. So if I just rewind a little bit, a few weeks ago, before I went on holiday, I bid on a couple of things on eBay, and I got two classic kits, and they're sat in the attic right now waiting for me to bring them down and show you. We'll do that in a future episode because I'm prioritizing new releases. And of course, in last week's episode, we had the Bristol Bulldog Mark II from Airfix. Brand new tool for 2024. Beautiful kit. We're going to come back to the Bulldog a bit later on. So if you're interested in that kit, you absolutely want to stay tuned. Then Airfix have announced that the Chinook is now out. So in short order, within a week, the Chinook, and I'm expecting delivery of that today as I record this. This is Thursday lunchtime. I'm finding it easier to record my table talks on a Thursday. That gives me Friday to edit them and get them up. Just trying to space things out a little bit because it's still all been getting on, building up and getting on top of me a bit too much to do. So, yeah, so I do digress, don't I? So, yeah, so the Chinook, I'm expecting any day now. No doubt we'll talk more about that on next week's. But this is also a new tool. Now, I had this on pre-order at one of my UK stores that I use. And this store, they're great for price, and they sometimes have stuff for pre-order that others don't have until much later on. But they are slow at shipping. And certainly a friend of the channel, Jeff Donahue, who has a channel. If you've not seen him, go and check him out. He received this 4 days before I got it, which is a bit annoying. But I have been waiting for this for so long. So it is the brand new 2024 new tool, Mini Art 1:35 scale, Opal Blitz. And there were so many different variants of the Opal Blitz that, you know, we're going to have years of new releases from Mini Art on this. It's a cracking subject for them to get stuck into. And I've been really looking forward to it. I've built a couple of Opal Blitzes over the years. I think, as I think back, I think they've all been the Italeri versions, which were nice kits. Yeah, nice kits. As always with Italeri, the plastic was a bit brittle and you'd have a bit snap and stuff. And one of them was the tracked version, the half-track version. I definitely remember that because I did it in white camouflage and what have you. And I'm going back years and years and years, many, many years ago now. So to get an all-new Opal Blitz is something that I think is great. And I have already recorded the first impressions of this, so I have fun through this, and it does not disappoint. It's a really nice kit. And when you consider last year we had the new tool Airfix Stroke Academy general service truck from them, and it was 3 sprues. There's 11 in here. I mean, all right, they're mini art sprues, so some of them are tiny and just have like 6 parts on. But the part count is massive compared to that, and you get a full engine, and you know anything that opens in real life opens on the model. You know, so it was pretty much well covered. And then their lovely way of doing tyres, where you build it up in layers. So really, really nice kit, and yeah, I'm quite excited to build this at some point. So yeah, this is the flatbed version. They've gone with the flatbed version first. Obviously, the more common one in military service has the hoops and the covers. I have no doubt that they're bringing that out. So even though this is a military service one, it does cover some sort of not quite military service, if you like, and that's organisation tote, for example, which you could argue wasn't military, though it wasn't strictly civilian either. So anyway, there you go. 6 paint schemes on that. Look out for the first impressions. That will be coming out on this coming Wednesday. So we'll be doing a nice deep dive into the kit, an hour-long absorbing, have a look at what you get, the instructions and what have you, and it's all good. So yeah, very, 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 very nice. And yeah, like I say, I was looking forward to it. So yeah, so we've got that. We've got the Chinook coming, so that's another new tool. So everyone will be rushing to get the Chinook out. So I'm just going to wait till the following Wednesday. So you now know what the next 2 first impressions are going to be. I'm not going to rush to get that one out. For me, the Chinook's not going to quite have the same kudos as the Bulldog. You know, it's yet another helicopter, albeit twin rotor and blah blah blah. But I am looking forward to it. In terms of pre-orders, I think Lifeboat's the only thing left at Airfix, although I have a good number of flying hours now, and I've got a good number of hobby points, and as these pre-orders come through, the hobby points build up, so I should be able to get another 2 kits for first impressions at pretty much no cost on top of that at some point. So that was that came a few days ago now, and no doubt you'll have seen the short, which I announced on the day I got it. And then I've also added this to the stash. Now, I know not all of you are into your wooden kits, and all I can say is shame on you. It's something you need to do, and this would be a very good starter kit for you. So this is the Lady Nelson. It's from Victory Models, which is an offshoot of Amati. So it's a navy cutter, so single-masted, as you can see, and as such it's quite small. Let me get that a bit closer to you. It's quite small, and everything you see here you get in the kit, including the base and the brass pinnacles to mount it on. Yeah, now I picked this off eBay. Somebody who clearly wasn't the person who purchased it was selling it because they didn't really know what they were selling. All they could tell you was that they think it's all there. So having had a good look through the pictures, and the initial asking price for this was 50 quid. So that's nearly a third of what it is new. And I got it for 63 in the end. There was only one other bidder, so an absolute steal. I do keep my eye on eBay. A lot of stuff on eBay is overly expensive and silly money and not worth getting. But every now and then you get a seller who really doesn't know what they're doing, and you know, you could have put that on for 99 quid and probably sold it. If the right people were watching, and if you leave it to go around a couple of listings, it will eventually go. But yeah, so an utter bargain. I'm looking forward to building it. It's the same brand as Fly, so if you've seen the Fly videos, It's to the same standard of that. A much more straightforward build, this one. Smaller hull. That sometimes can be more difficult to do. In the modelling, wooden modelling community, most people I think would agree with me when I say that small boats like rowing boat type boats, small models of launchers and stuff, are the most difficult hulls to do. Because of their size, they're fiddly. So longer ones can be a little bit easier in many ways, but this, I think, shouldn't be too bad. It's double planked, and the second planking is really quite nice and thin. So yeah, should be a really nice build. Some staining to be done. None of the dowels are in hardwoods, they're in softwoods. So you've got some painting to do and some staining to do. But all very, very nice. So yeah, I was really, really pleased to pick that up. It's an utter bargain. And at some point we'll build this on the channel, no doubt. So it's not often that I do a first impressions of a wooden ship kit, because firstly, they're really quite expensive as a general rule, compared to other kits. I've got a fair number. So I've probably got more than I'll ever build if I'm honest. So at some point I will have to get through them. But also I don't buy them lightly, whereas I can buy plastic kits and know that I'll either build them or I'll move them on when a new variation or improved version, model version of it, or different livery comes out that I prefer, whatever. And I don't mind that so much. But wooden kits, it's a little different. So we don't do very many wooden kit first impressions. I was hoping that we could try and hook up with one of the manufacturers and do a deal where they supply me a kit and I do the first impressions and then I send it back to them or something. But I haven't heard anything about that, so I suspect that won't happen. But I do genuinely think there isn't enough exposure of wooden model kits out across the modelling community. There's one or two people that do reviews, but even they don't do many of them. And it's a real shame, because I think the more people that reviewed them, the more kits they get reviewed, the more people would want to buy them. And people like Amati, when you think about wooden model kits, people automatically think about ships, but there's trams, there's aircraft. I mean, Amati do a stunning train carriage from the Orient Express sleeper carriage. It's absolutely stunning. It's about £1,000, or it was when it was released. It's pretty, maybe even a bit more now. So really expensive, but it's 1 metre long and it's absolutely stunning. And I'd love to get my hands on that and build that at some point. Just can't quite justify it at this stage. But I think if people were exposed to more of those kits, more people would get into them. But I can only do my little bit, and that is sharing what I've got. I do have a couple of wooden kits I have not shared as first impressions. So there's one or two others to come at some point. But whilst that's down here in the kitchen with me, we might as well film it and then get that out as a first impression. So you'll see that soon. So said I'd come back to the Bulldog. So let's talk about the Bulldog. Bulldog kit is beautiful. I started building it. Let me show you the progress. So let's put a little bit of light on the subject. So I have built up the interior. So the cockpit's all done. Yeah, nothing to see. So don't be sat there waiting for aftermarket to come out. Completely pointless, because you can't see anything in there. I can just about see the dials, which look lovely. I can see the steering column, and I can just about make out the seat, because it's all painted black. So, you know, it's not great. The sides are aluminium, but it's all painted black. So you ain't seeing much. Fuselage has gone together really nicely. No issues at all. No gaps particularly. So this is now ready for painting. I'll tell you more about that in a sec, because I'm sort of linking it to my B17 build. So we've got the tail on, we've got the fuselage halves together. We've got these little lumpy bits. I don't know what they are, that the engine gets mounted against. They're all on. They go on in a particular order. and probably so far been the hardest thing to clean up. It's a skill level 3, and quite rightly so, because the assembly of the cockpit is a bit fiddly. But it's all gone together lovely. I'm really pleased with it. I've got the wings done. Again, no issues particularly with the wings, other than they sandwich together. So you get a join line where you get the two halves together, and the plastic rolls as a slight curve to it. It's not square, so it doesn't butt up square and you get a nice tight joint. So I have, you can probably see the filler there. I have gone around with filler on the back ends of the wings just to square them off. I think that's helpful. Otherwise, the fit is absolutely lovely, no issues. So larger upper wing and lower wing, so that's done. I have done the wheels, which go together really nicely, and actually you can mount them on a cocktail stick when you've done. Started cleaning up the engine parts and various other bits and pieces that we're going to need. And my plan is to get everything cleaned up on this and then paint it at the same time as the B17. Reason being is the B17 is getting painted in aluminium. That's getting painted in aluminium. Well, a part of it. The back end is like silver painted dope. But the front end, pretty much from the back of the cockpit opening forward, is all polished aluminium. So same colours that I'm using there. The paint scheme I'm doing, scheme B, has the same yellow as on here, which is the matte Humbrol 24. We'll talk to you about that in a second. So if I can get the Bulldog built up, I can paint at the same time as I'm painting parts for the B17. So that's very much my plan, and finish them together. And the Bulldog will end up being one video for the complete build, which is something that we'll talk about in a minute. So Bulldog progressing nicely. So that's doing well. B17 might look like I've not done much, and to a point I haven't, because I concentrated on the Bulldog last week, wanted to get building it. I think the noticeable difference is we've now got the blue down for the stars and bars. So we've painted the white, we put the masks on, peeled some of the masking off to allow us to put the blue down. We've now got to put the rest of the masking on, which I'll do tomorrow because I painted this morning, the blue. So it was a mix of, it's an ICM blue, the darkest blue they had, plus a bit of black. To get there, I'm fairly happy with my colour mix. I think that's come out okay. So yeah, all very nice. So we've got to put the masks back on so we can go over and do the rest. So the yellow I used initially was Tamiya's Lacquer LP83. Was unhappy with it, partly because it was too bright and partly because it went dusty. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. Didn't quite get the mix right, I think. But yeah, you could rub dust off. It went granular and you could rub it off. So don't know. I haven't used those paints very much, and I don't have enough experience with them, I think. But primarily it was a bit too bright. So I rubbed it down, and I've gone over it with the 24, and I'm Humbrol 24, and I am much happier with that yellow. So that's effectively been the second coat. You can see we've got it there on the back as well. So that is ready for marking. I've been masking. I've been wondering about whether I'm going to do green decals for the two stripes or mask it off. And I think I might try the decals, and if the decals don't go down, then mask off and put the green on as a last. I think that's where I'm gonna go. But yeah, this is ready for masking off. Black priming is the next job on the B17. So pretty happy with that. What I want to do next on this is get the black primer down, and then get the engines built up so I can be painting Bulldog and B17 engine components at the same time. So we're going to do these hand in hand. We're nearly midway through the month, so I'm starting to get a little bit pushed for time on this, but if it's not finished on time, it's not finished on time. I will do my damnedest, though, to get it done on time, because it's a little bit embarrassing, as the host of the group build, to not get it done on time. But anyway, yeah, timing is something that's been on my mind a lot, so let's talk about that. So, timing. It's been on my mind quite a bit because I'm conscious of not getting through a lot of builds in a year. And that's because of my videoing. So what videoing does is it dictates how you do your build. It'd be wrong to say it gets in the way, but at the same time it gets in the way. Because you've got to be setting up position for the build. You've got to be making sure people have seen what you're doing, and that's partly because of the way the format I do, which has always been to sort of take you through the whole build. The idea being that you will see techniques and tips and bits and pieces that you might pick up and apply yourself, particularly for the less experienced modeler. And I will say again, I'm no expert, it's just my way of doing it. But all the time I'm getting comments from people about things they've seen or things they've tried or questions around what I've done. So people are always out there to learn, and there's always new stuff to learn. I've got new stuff to learn as well. I'm going to be painting figures soon, and I've been looking at some videos on painting figures and getting ideas, and then thinking, well, that's something worth commenting on because I'd never do that, and that sort of stuff. So when we're doing figures, I'll have some new things I'm trying out and bits and pieces like that. So there's always new stuff to learn, no matter how long you've been modelling. The truth of the matter is I'm getting a little frustrated at the time it's taken me to build some of my models. And so the B17 is a case in point. I should have this done by now. And that's because I decided that I wanted to show you in detail how I was building it, because there was a lot of people that were saying, I've never built anything as big as this before, or, you know, it's not my usual scale, or this is going to, even have people saying this is going to be my first model build ever. So I have tried to go through it in detail, but what that means is you don't cover a lot in an hour, and therefore you have, for some people, it's less interesting because, all right, I get what you're saying, I don't need to see the rest. And it also protracts the time it takes for the builds to be aired, especially as I tend to alternate them every other week. And in fact, we were doing every 3 weeks with the Shah B. So it stretches everything out, and it takes months to get through a fairly short build. Now, there is an advantage to that. It means that I have material ahead, so I've always got something that I can release on a Friday. But the downside is that you see people dropping off, and so you get a lot of people interested in the start, and then you get a fair number interested at the back, and in the middle, you're not seeing that. So what I'm thinking of doing is changing it up a little bit. So on my main build, like my Sharn horse, we'll continue to take you through it step by step. I'm not going to show you sanding and that sort of stuff, but we'll show you all the parts going together. We'll talk about technique. We'll talk about any tips and tricks as we go, and that will be a long, drawn-out build. You know, easily a 2-year build. We're on month 6 of it already, or 7, I suppose, because it started part way through December. So we'll continue with that. But with the other builds, the smaller builds that are going on as well, I think what I'm going to do is, unless I particularly say, right, this is focused for beginners, I'm going to just do it more Bulldog style, which means I'm going to do a lot of building off camera and give you a little update and say, oh, this went together. So when we've done the cockpit, what I've done is I've built the cockpit off camera. Then when I've built it, I've filmed an update and gone, right, okay, so Cockpit's gone together okay. Watch out for this bit, watch out for that bit. Don't agree with the colour on this bit, but it's all gone together okay. My next steps are this, this and this. And then my next bit of filming I'm about ready to do is to say, right, I've done the fuselage now, and there was these problems and this to watch out for, and we'll do it in little lumps. So we'll take you through the build sort of in major steps. You won't see all the sanding, the cutting out and all that sort of stuff. You'll just see the major steps and get a bit of commentary. And it means that you'll get that, probably the Bulldog in one video. This you'd probably get in, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos. So I'm going to change it up a little bit because I've got some small builds coming along, which means that I can move along quickly, and I can get material a bit more compact, and I think that might be more interesting for some of the more accomplished modelers anyway. The risk is that means I'll have less material, and some weeks I might not have build material. At this moment in time, I've got quite a bit of Scharnhorst material, so I think we'll be okay. We'll suck it and see how we get along, is what will happen. So there's 2 ways I can film this. I can either film it in my traditional way and film everything, in which case I've always got material, and then edit it right down and compact it. Or I can build it off camera, which can therefore build quicker and have the risk of less material. I'm going to go with that last option to start with, and we'll see what happens. So Bulldog's a bit of a test bed for that, and see what happens. There's other builds that I plan to do this year. So we've got the Tempo build coming along after this. That will definitely benefit from doing it in chunks. It's a relatively small build. You don't need to see me cleaning up parts. So let's just go to the construction phases and talk about that, and then concentrate on the weathering. And then same with the Eagle build that's coming up. It's a big kit. There's a lot of repetition on there, you know. You don't want to see all of that either, I suspect. So most of that build is sanding and cleaning up. There ain't much gluing to be done, and then it's decals and painting. So we can probably do that in 2 or 3 videos, whereas I might have done it in half a dozen. Yeah, so that's the thinking. We're going to give it a go, see how that works out for me, and see how popular that is. It's always difficult at this time of year because in the summer people are dropping off. I'm getting around about half the views that I get in the winter now. So, and I haven't done a Scharnhorst video for a little while because we're concentrating on getting B17 out. So, yeah, so views are down a little bit, but not worried about it. It's a seasonal trend. It's happened every year over the years that I've been doing this. So yeah, anyway, there we go. That's where we're up to with the builds. That's where my head is on future builds and what we're doing. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, because I think there are people out there who like to see every swipe of the sanding stick, and others who are quite happy to just understand how well the kit's gone together, especially when it's a new kit. So maybe some of my older kits I can do as the beginner's kits, and the newer stuff we just leg through it. Okay, let's quickly talk about what we did last week. Well, we didn't do a Monday video, and that's because I haven't recorded it. My next Monday video is the next one in the airbrushing, and as I said last week, it wasn't recorded. I've recorded some of it. I'm hoping to record the rest of it tonight. It's my modelling evening tonight, so I'm hoping to record the rest of it. Then it's got to be edited, and I'm not sure whether it'll be out for Monday or not. So it wasn't done in time for last Monday, clearly. It may not be done for this Monday coming. in which case there perhaps won't be anything again this Monday. Now, I have just ordered some new stuff, some new tools and products and things, so I will have some more materials soon that we can put into the Monday slot, but at this moment there's a bit of a drought there at the moment. If I've not got material, I'm not going to just put junk out for the sake of filling the slot. Puts me under pressure. I don't need that because, well, that's what my doctor says. We'll talk about that in a minute too. So then Wednesday we had the Thunder Models Long Range Desert Group F30, the Ford truck there, which I'm reliably told were built in North America, Canada. Really nice model. Someone said probably better to wait for the Tamiya one to come out, but I'm not aware that Tamiya are bringing one out. So that might be a long wait. That may never happen. There's nothing wrong with that kit. It's a really, really nice kit. The issue is in the instructions a little bit, and it's like anything. I'm really, really familiar with Airfix instructions. I've grown up with them. They're familiar to me. They're easy to use. A lot of the Chinese companies, they get bad press for their instructions, and some of it is merited. Some of it they've definitely earned, but some of it is lost in translation, and some of it is just getting used to using those instructions. And when you've built 3 or 4 Thunder model kits, you'll intuitively know what they're going on about. I'm not quite there yet. I think I've only built 1 of their models. I have 3 now, is it? 3 or 4 in the stash. So I need to get on and build another one. Fundamentally, there's no significant issues with that kit, and I think it's a very nice kit. The 3D printed stuff could have been done better. So my advice is, if you want that kit, go and buy the basic version, save yourself some money, and then buy aftermarket if you want figures and additional stuff on there. So but the basic plastic kit in its own right, very nicely done, thank you very much. So I enjoyed that. And then of course we had some more B17 last night. So that was our 4th episode, and as you can see, we haven't got out of the interior yet. So when I look at the material I've got recorded, the next episode will finish the interior, and we'll get wings and fuselage done, I suspect. So you'll nearly have caught up with me. So how many videos is this going to be? 8 maybe. You're perhaps about halfway through on the build videos. So that means that from my point of view, as you can see, I'm at final paint almost on this, and then engines and landing gear. So I'm not doing any more Scharnhorst until this is done, that's being stretched out a little bit because of the Bulldog, but I want to get the Bulldog done because it's just lovely. So these 2 kits, I reckon another 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll be on the Tempo and back on the Scharnhorst, which I can't wait for because the Scharnhorst build is going so beautifully well. I'm enjoying every moment of it. Also, we've got in the background the Endeavour. So let's talk about what's coming up next week, because next week you get another episode of Endeavour. We had a little break due to holidays and stuff like that, but I'm still ahead on material for that, so we should be back to every other week now with the Endeavour. So we'll have an Endeavour out on Tuesday, so even if we don't see anything Monday, we've got something Tuesday. But all being well, it'll be airbrushing on Monday, which will focus on fine control of your airbrush. Then Endeavour, and then on Wednesday will be the Opal Blitz, and then on the Friday we should have another B17. So that's the week ahead from model kit stuff. But there is likely to be another little announcement video, and I'm going to give you a pre-announcement right here now. Right then, let's talk airbrushes. Gallery airbrushes, to be honest. I've been now playing around with these gallery airbrushes. I mean, I've got 3 of them currently. I'm about to get a 4th. I've been playing around with these and I am really, really liking them. The more I use them, the more I fall in love with them. The entry-level one, which I know a number of you have subsequently purchased after I've reviewed it, I think is a good all-rounder, and I have it generally set as my number 5 needle brush, and it's just lovely. The Mobius 3 I am properly in love with. It's such a nice brush. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. It's just an utter joy to use and really, really comfortable. And Gallery have reached out to me, so I'm gonna do a separate video about this, but I wanted you guys to be the first to know about it. So this, I'm going to read you some extracts from the email, and then you can understand a bit more clearly what's going on. It says, "Dear Jason, hope this message finds you well. I'm excited to share some fantastic news about our upcoming Gallery Day, which marks our biggest sale event of the year. We're talking 40% off. So it's from June the 15th until June the 22nd. So they'll be hosting an exclusive promotion on their official website only. You can go to that official website through my link, which I will put in the bottom of this video. That's important. I'll tell you why in a minute. Celebrating Gallery Day with incredible deals that you won't want to miss. This is the perfect opportunity for your fans to purchase our products at the most advantageous prices." So likely to be one of the best sales of the year. I don't know what they've got future planned lined up. They quite often do something a little later in the year, but this is sort of their mid-year sale. So they're talking up to 40% off. But they're also launching some limited edition stuff at the same time. So let me explain that. They're also launching 6 limited edition airbrush accessory kits during the promotion, each thoughtfully assembled to enhance the airbrushing experience for enthusiasts of all levels. Here's the details on the special offers. So the GHC 98D with a square trigger. Okay, so usually it has a round trigger like this. The square trigger, similar to what you get on here, is more comfortable. And the wedge shape, you can see the extreme wedge shape on it, gives you more control. They're also releasing the same airbrush with a 6-hole air cap. So rather than you getting a solid air cap like this, needle protector cap, you'll get one, let me just show you, not that one. See, I'm completely prepared, like this one on my Hadron Steam back. So what that does is it improves atomization and makes the paint go down a little bit better. And then I've got to try and put my airbrush down there with me. There we go. So that's 2 nice upgrades to one of their more basic brushes. They have also a Mobius 2 and Mobius 3 at special prices, and then the Swallowtail plus the fan cap that we talked about in my video, also on a promotional price. I think the main thing here is the square trigger and air cap. So what they're going to do is they're going to send me one of those airbrushes, because I don't have that type of airbrush, with the upgraded parts on, and then I can go through that and take you through the differences. Now then, if you go through my link to the web page, they will know you've come from me. Why is that important? Because the more people that go to the gallery website through my page, through my link, the more likely our gallery are to support me with giving me future products to review and keeping you guys in the loop with what's going on. So that's really important. They can see the footfall, and actually they've given me a little link. So I have a portal, and I can go in and see how many people are going in there. And, you know, so I can tell you, for example, that around about 16% of all people that go through to their webpage through my link end up purchasing something. But, you know, so that's really important, because it gives me an opportunity to keep up to date with Gallery's products, and I do really like their products, and then I can share that with you, which is what's happening here. They can see that people have seen my reviews, going to their website, making purchases, so that they want to keep that going. So they're sending me another airbrush. We will review that, so that's another tool review, something else for the Monday slot coming up. So I will do a separate video and announce it more formally and put some images up and that sort of stuff. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up. So 15th of June to the 22nd of June. Now, like I say, up to 40% off. But here's the best bit. If you go through my link and then you use my 10% discount code, Model Kit Stuff 001, I think it is, it'll be in the text. Put that in at the checkout and you'll get a further 10% off everything. So you can, you know, if the Mobius was a little bit out of the reach, or the Swallowtail, which is more expensive, you can now get 40% off, get it with the air cap, and then get a further 10% off. Everyone's a winner. And if you're spending over 50 quid in Europe, UK, or US, that's 50 US dollars, you get free shipping. Bargain. So not to be missed. Make sure you go and check out the website. If you go to the website now, there's a countdown to when that actually starts. They've got a big thing ticking down. So there you go. You're the first guys to know. I'll do a formal announcement of it a little bit later, maybe tomorrow, for everybody else who strangely doesn't want to watch Table Talk. Well, why wouldn't you? Right then, a couple of thank yous. Just a reminder. If you choose to donate to the channel, any money you donate goes to the channel. I don't take any of it. It goes into buying new kits, it goes into buying new products, new tools. And what I've been doing over the last couple of months is I've been saving most of that up, so that I had a little pot of money to go out and buy some bits and pieces. So we have bought some tools and products, so we'll have some stuff to review. And we've bought some kits. So around the kits that we've talked about, I also have a couple of pre-orders, and I have something really interesting winging its way to me from Hannants, which should arrive any day now. So we've got some bits and pieces to talk about in the future, and that's all thank you to you guys who have chosen to donate. Some people like to donate a little chunk once a month. Others like to donate a little bit, a smaller amount every week, and some people donate occasionally, and any donations are massively appreciated, and I will give you a shout out right here on Table Talk and mention you by name as a way of saying thank you. Now, just to prove a point, I don't do membership for the reason that there is then an onus to collect money from you, and that doesn't always work for everybody. And so what I basically generally say is, if you want to donate, that's brilliant. Donate what you can afford when you can afford it, but you know, don't go out of your way to put yourself out. You know, where if I had membership, it'd be taken from you automatically, and I don't particularly want to do that. And case in point is one of my subscribers, Paul, who is also known to many of you as Plastic Monkey, has a channel, does several builds at a time, does loads and loads of good stuff, and you should check his channel out if you haven't. He donates regularly, hasn't donated for a little while because he's had reasons that have prevented him from doing that, and then he's donated again this week. So that just shows you the benefit of free donation as and when it suits for you. So that's how I'm going to keep it, because 1 or 2 people have asked for membership, and I get that some people are forgetful and they want to donate and forget to do it and don't get around to it or whatever, but I prefer to keep it in your control. So Paul, Plastic Monkey, thank you very much for your donation. It's greatly appreciated as always. So I hope all good is with you. And also James Carnahan, who gave a donation, and I don't think I mentioned it last week. So thank you very, very much. All goes into the pot and goes into other things that I'm planning on the channel. Like I say, I don't keep a penny of it. If you do give through super chat or super thanks, then I get around about 60% of it. So if you want to avoid that, you can do the PayPal thing. But that's completely up to you. What I will say is all donations are massively appreciated, as are comments on the videos and likes on the videos and sharing it on Facebook and all that sort of good stuff. Thank you very much, everyone. So last week was horrendous for me. Horrendous. So much going on. So I didn't do a kit sale last week because I knew I wasn't going to have time for packing and posting and all that sort of stuff. So we finished the decorating. You wouldn't believe it. So the decorating was done a week and a half late because he couldn't come when he was supposed to come. Then we went away on holiday. So then he came afterwards, and he was a little bit wishy-washy on arriving and doing stuff, but he's done a phenomenal job. We're really, really happy with it. So decorating is done, but we're now at the point of putting furniture back in. We're putting new shelving in. Well, I say me. DIY is not my strong point. Everyone thinks that because I can build models and use all these tools and stuff, that I must be brilliant at DIY and I could build a real size house, no problem at all. No. Don't put anything on a shelf I've put up that weighs more than a pencil, because there's no guarantee the whole lot's not coming down. I am rubbish at DIY, have no interest in it, have no understanding of it, don't want to be interested in it. So I'm not looking forward to this weekend because I've got 4 shelves to put up. But hey ho. So we've got a lot to do, but here you go. This is what it looks like. And we're really happy with it. So as you know, we put new floors in first, but that started to rise near the front door. The floor is lifting or sinking or both. And also during the week, the shower stopped working. Now it's been on the blink for nearly a year. The on-off button sometimes doesn't work, so you have to switch it on a different way, and sometimes it'll flick to cold and then flick back to hot and all these things. Anyway, it finally gave up the ghost. So on Wednesday of this week, I had a guy upstairs fitting a new shower. I had the guy downstairs looking at the floor going on. So I had 2 people here at the same time sorting out issues. Well, actually, the floor guy's just arranging for someone to come out. But of course, the water stop tap in this house is in the living room. Stupid place to put it. But what they've done it for ease. So you've got the water meter on the outside front of the house, and then they've put the stop tap behind it, rather than it being in the kitchen under the sink, where it's always been in any other house I've ever been in. Yeah, and that's behind a little cupboard with a lift-up thing, which just been painted, and then the next day, someone there breaking all the paint off, opening. So, yeah, there you go. So my new paint job lasted less than 24 hours before it got damaged. How annoying is that? I'll be able to touch it up. Painting is one thing I am good at. DIY, not so much. So we've had that going on. But also, on the same day, I had a hospital appointment. So as many of you know, I've been having lots of issues with my stomach. I have a hernia. and there's been some investigations going on into to what's causing that. So I had a CT scan about 6 weeks ago, and then had an endoscopy this week, which is always good fun. I get knocked out for endoscopies. You know, I'm not messing around watching them shove stuff down my throat and all that sort of stuff. So I get knocked out, and that's always good fun. Paula and Daisy were having a right giggle at me post sedation, but still out for the count with the fairies a little bit. So yeah, they enjoyed that evening, even though I wasn't cooking. So I just had a lot going on. Anyway, it appears that everything is okay. My hernia hasn't got worse. The ulcers and stuff that I used to have all gone and cleared and are treated and all good. So what's going on with my stomach? It's stress. And one of the things that sometimes stresses me out is this channel. That's self-imposed stress. I'm autistic. I set rules. I set rules for myself, and when I don't meet those rules, I get stressed about them. So me being relaxed about not putting a video out on Monday is actually a big deal for me, because it means I'm being successful at de-stressing. So I have to work on sorting my what would appear to be anxiety-triggered IBS out. So that's something for the future. One thing that's made a big difference actually has been improving my diet and the Zoe thing that I'm doing. I'm still very slowly losing a bit of weight. It's up and down, because, you know, things like Easter, going away on holiday, they all sort of interfere a little bit. But generally, my healthier eating, it's not really healthier, it's more knowledgeable eating. Understanding my personal nutrition has made a big difference. And it's made a big difference to how settled my stomach is. So it's not all anxiety and stress, although my job's been very stressful for a while, and that's certainly not helped. So anyway, all of that sort of stuff, putting that to one side, we're all good. So it's nice to know that your health's in good nick. And they've done a CT scan, so if there was anything else going on there, they would have spotted it. So all good. So I feel like we're in a good place to start selling some more kits, because I'm going to have time to pack them and ship them for you. So how this works is I'm going to tell you how much I want for these. I'm going to tell you, including shipping costs. So you can then tell me if you're interested. Whoever offers the highest amount wins, because it's money for the channel at the end of the day. And then I send them out to you, and I make that decision typically on a Wednesday. So it gives everyone a chance who doesn't watch Table Talk on a Saturday to put a bid in if they wish. So yeah, 3 kits to sell. Let's just quickly look at them, and then I'll talk to you about prices. 172 Hawk Tempest. This is a lovely kit. I've got 2 of these because I accidentally thought I hadn't ordered one, so I ordered a second one to bulk up an order from Airfix. And ended up with 2. So this one is completely unopened in the box. Flying hours have been removed, however. But yeah, lovely kit. So yeah, we'll talk about cost in a minute, like I say. Then we've got a Profi Pack edition of an Edward 148 Mustang P51D with what we've got 2, 4, 6 paint options here. Old style decals, so not the silly daft ones they do now. Proper decals that go on properly. Really nice kit. Realistically, I've also got an Airfix Mustang at the same scale, and realistically, if I was going to get a Mustang, I'd probably pick a different paint scheme than I've got in here. So genuine reason to sell. Bags are open because I've first impressioned it. It has, because it's a Profi Pack, you've got some coloured photo etch in there for the cockpit, and you've got paint masks included in it. And then finally, the 2023 new tool, Airfix General Surface Truck. Lovely kit, nicely done. Academy in terms of production, design and production. But an Airfix exclusive kit. You can't buy it from Academy. So yeah, a very nice kit. Comes with 2 paint options. Not overly complex to build, and nicely done. I think there is some aftermarket out for this now. but certainly wouldn't be difficult to source stuff for this, generic stuff as well. So yeah, very nice kit. But realistically, I've now got too many trucks. So, and with me just buying another one, it's time to part company with this one and wait and see what we get in the way of further releases of this in the future. So yeah, those are the three we're selling this week. So what am I? Tempest first. If you want to buy this off the Airfix website, including shipping, it's going to cost you £16 all in, assuming that you're not getting any discounts. Shipping for this, so if I said to you that I'm looking at offers over £9 for this, so you're getting it at just over a third off. So that's £9 including shipping. So I'm actually asking about a fiver for the kit, because I think shipping for this will be about £4. So within the UK, if you're outside of the UK, you're gonna have to we're gonna have to add shipping. Probably not worth it given the cost of shipping outside of the UK. But yeah, there you go. It's a lovely little kit. I know it'll appeal to a lot of you. So £9 shipped, and just so that I remember what I've just said, because I'm working this out as we go, I'm going to put a 9 on the back, so you'll know what that 9 is now. There you go. So £9 shipped, Tempest. That's a bargain. It's a really good deal. I don't think you'll find it cheaper anywhere else. Right then, the truck, that's £34 new, and as it's a new tool, and I bought it only last year and I paid the £34 for it, what I'm going to say is shipped, I'll do it here for £25. So offers over £25. Let's see where we go with that. That's taking some money off the kit. So a tenner pretty much off the kit, and it's including the postage, so it's not going to cost you anything else for postage. So 25, let me remind myself and put that on the back, 25. So the kit has been reviewed, so the bags are open, everything else is in there. It comes with a little bit of photo etch and some decals, but yeah, and the flying hours are missing, but otherwise everything else is intact. So yeah, there you go. You could buy that, put that on eBay and make yourself a killing if you wanted. So I think this was around about £27 when it was shipped. It's now discontinued, this Profi Pack version, but there is tons and tons and tons of aftermarket that Edward make for their Mustangs. So you could really go to town on this if you wanted. I'm going to ask for offers over £15 shipped, so put 15 on there. That's a bargain when you consider what you get in there. So you get one set of plastics to build one kit. You get photo etch, and you get masks. Let me just check that. I'm fairly sure that's the case. Yeah, photo etch and masks. Yeah, and it's all in perfect condition. So offers over £15 shipped, and that's yours. So more money to go back in the channel. Thank you very much. And I'll make the decision on Wednesday. So if you don't hear from me when you've dropped an email, doesn't mean I've not seen the email. I might not respond until Wednesday because I get a lot of emails about all sorts of stuff. Now then, it appears that last week I forgot to share my pictures of our holiday. Really sorry. Several people were clearly interested because they pointed it out to me. So again, I was just having a very busy week last week. So here are those photographs. Thanks very much for joining me. Hope you're enjoying your modelling. Don't forget to get your B17s out and be doing them. Have some late nights. Do it, pack it all up, go to a hotel so you're away from the wife and kids. Whatever you need to do, get them over the line. I'm looking forward to see your B17s. I will soon be asking for pictures. Until then, enjoy your modelling. Take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. It's free, and that way you won't miss my first impressions, my tool reviews, my product reviews, and any of my builds, including wooden model kits as well as plastic. It's all free, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can hit my PayPal link in the text below. Every pound goes straight into the channel to keep the cameras rolling and to do more fun stuff for you to watch.